Here is the box, and the contents of this box I'm sure you're going to find very interesting. Should we take a look? Yeah, why not? Yeah. Get in there, hang on. Finally, Earth Invaders by CGL. So it's a handheld game, fluorescent display, but this one is a bit unusual. You don't see many of these around, not in this condition anyway. And there's something very different about this one. It's called Earth Invaders, and you'd expect it to be a Space Invaders clone. And on the box it even says Computer Space Battle Game. But you know what? It's got nothing to do with space. It's got an awful lot to do with digging holes and letting aliens fall into it. Now, a friend of mine had one of these and I absolutely loved it. And when I borrowed it off him, I thought, yeah, Space Invaders. No, it's not. It's very different. Should we take a look what's inside? Computer Games Limited, or CGL, were a London-based company that imported and rebadged electronic games from various Japanese manufacturers such as Tomy and Gakken. Some of the most famous games that CGL released were Galaxy Invader, Galaxy Invader 1000, Galaxy Invader 10,000, which I've never actually seen in the flesh, Frogger, Puck Monster and Super Kong. Now, they even sold the Japanese Sword M5 computer here in the UK a year after its initial launch in 1982, and they rebadged it the CGL M5. A bit like Amstrad really, they had lots of fingers in lots of Japanese electronic pies. So this is CGL Earth Invaders, which was released in 1982. Now, as I said earlier, this is not your usual Space Invader type game, but more of a dig and bury type game that was quite popular across different gaming platforms in the early 80s. Earth Invaders was released by at least 2 different companies. It was known in Japan as Hien Kyo Alien by Gakken, and it was released by Lindy as simply Alien, which I love, being a massive Alien movie fan. Interestingly, the concept for Hien Kyo Alien was created by the University of Tokyo's Theoretical Science Group back in 1979. The game was released as an arcade cabinet later the same year. Now, in the arcade game, you play a police officer who has to defend the city of Hien Kyo from a bunch of marauding aliens by digging holes and luring the aliens into them. Once an alien falls into the hole, your job is to fill in the hole. Simple. Now, I managed to get hold of this one from Facebook Marketplace at a very reasonable price indeed, considering it's boxed with the inserts, and as you can see, it's in wonderful condition. There are no scratches on the screen as far as I can see. The battery box is in perfect condition with no corrosion at all. It's been very well looked after. Now, I put some batteries in to test it and there is a problem. The game does power up, but the buttons are very, very unresponsive indeed. Some of them hardly work at all and you need an awful lot of pressure to make anything happen. So this only means one thing. It's time to take it over to the Retro Shed workshop for a bit of a service. So I'm really having to press these buttons quite hard, as you can see the little figure moving across the top of the screen. So, unplayable. Right. Alright, looks like there's 5 screws holding this together. Let's get those screws out. Now, it does look really clean in here actually. Look, there's no dust, there's no fur balls, there's no nothing. So it has been really nicely looked after. So it looks like we're going to have to release the screws holding this main board down and take the back off. Let's just have a look what we've got. There's the there's a little piezo speaker and we can't see a lot else actually. On this side of the board there's not a lot apart from these soldered connections, so let's remove these screws and let's flip the board out. So this is the main board removed from the other side of the case there, and interestingly, if you look, you can see it's actually manufactured by Gakken, which was one of the names I mentioned at the very, very beginning. So obviously CGL imported this and just slapped their brand on it. Here's the vacuum fluorescent display, which is a sealed glass display. I love these. These are really retro technologies. You can see there's little heater element wires. Can you see those wires? And the way it works is each one of these characters lights up when the hot wire emits electrons. So there's a kind of a matrix display really. And each one of these little characters, when hit with electrons, will actually glow. They actually glow if you put a black light near them. If you've got a UV black light, put it near this display and you'll see the whole thing lights up. They're really cool. I love this technology. Lovely. So there's the dig and bury controls, and there's your directional pad there, and they correspond to these buttons on the other side of the case on the shell. And under the board here, it looks like there's one chip, which is quite a big one. It goes all the way underneath there. You can get a shot of that. There you go. And that'll be the chip that holds the logic for the actual game itself. I can't see if there's anything else. A couple of transistors, a couple of capacitors. That's pretty much it. So it looks like that chip contains everything. The logic for the game, absolutely everything, and probably the display driver as well. I can't see anything else on this board, to be honest. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some alcohol and just clean up the contacts on these controls. And it's also worth, these little rubber pads are conductive, so it's always worth giving these a little bit of a clean up as well. There you go, it's always worth giving those a little bit of a clean with the alcohol as well. And I'm also going to do the same on this side here. There's another little rubber pad here. If we take this off, there you go, it's the same design, just need to clean those up. Right, that's the board and the contacts all cleaned up, so really all there is to do now is put it back together again. Right, this whole thing back together again, let's give it a go. So, yeah, I've turned the lights off in here so you can see what we're doing. And although not brilliantly responsive, it's a lot more playable than it was. So I'm the little red dude you can see running around there on the right, on the left-hand side. Let's dig a hole. No, get away from me. Oh, he's in. So I know he ran off. So that's a hole dug. Let's dig another one down here. There we go. Oh, one's fell in, so I've got to bury him now. There you go. That's one down. Dig another hole and just wait for them to fall in. There you go, there's one in. So you've got a certain amount of time. Oh dear, not fast enough. I've not played this for years. I'm not concentrating, am I? So let's try this again. So let's dig a hole. Oh, he's in. Okay, there's one left to go. Where's he going? No, actually, let's dig a hole there. There's one there, and I think I'd better put one at the top here. There you go, he's pretty much trapped in there now. Let's see what he does. There you go, he's in. Let's get him. Oh, round two, this isn't looking good. There's a lot of them. Oh no. Right, I'm dead. There you go. So there's a quick look at CGL's Earth Invaders. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I love. Do you know what? I love these old electronic games. They're just brilliant. Definitely part of my childhood growing up in the early 80s. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch you again very soon in the Retro Shed. Take care now and goodbye.